What's going on, guys? I'm Mark Sanger from Techno Buffalo, and it's been about 6 months since we reviewed this guy, the OnePlus One, and I wanted to share with you guys my impressions of the device after using it for several months. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, two things I love about the OnePlus One are the specs and the price. You still won't find a phone as affordable, as good looking, and as equipped as this one. It may not have the latest processor or tech inside, but it's held up very well and should continue to hold up in the coming months. Performance-wise, this device is top-notch. It barely lags, and it definitely is a device that can compete with flagships like the HTC One M8, the Samsung Galaxy S5, but how does it stack up to newer smartphones like the Nexus 6, the Note 4, or even the Droid Turbo? Now, surprisingly, it holds up really well. It's still very responsive, and I can run the latest apps and games without a hitch, which is great. And to be quite honest, I don't see too much of a difference in terms of performance between the Snapdragon 801 processor and the Snapdragon 805 processors found in the current devices. Everything is still buttery smooth. Now, in terms of durability, the OnePlus One still looks relatively new. We have experienced some wear around the back of the sandstone surface, and the chrome rim on the front is starting to show little wear with bits and pieces of the finish coming off. Though that's expected from day-to-day use. I personally don't use a case on my OnePlus One, though durability and how your phone holds up will always vary on how you use your device. The screen is a 5.5-inch 1080p LCD display, and after seeing QHD displays from Samsung, LG, and Motorola, it blows the OnePlus One's display out the water. I'm not bad-mouthing the OnePlus One screen whatsoever. It's still a very good-looking screen, but just know that there are brighter, higher-resolution displays available on newer devices. Now, moving on to battery life, I was very impressed with what this little guy can do. Now, on my device, I have push notifications enabled. I make several calls a day, send messages, and not once have I needed to charge my phone midday. It lasts a busy workday without an issue, and to me, that's a true test of battery life. However, there are some newer smartphones with bigger batteries and newer tech that can easily beat the OnePlus One's battery. And newer devices like the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the Motorola Droid Turbo, or the Sony Xperia Z3 have fast charging capabilities, which will get you up to 6 hours of battery life in about 15 to 25 minutes. Is the OnePlus One's battery still as impressive as we thought it was? Yes and no. For a device that's been out for months, it's still pretty impressive to get battery life that can get through a busy workday. And fast charging? Well, most users won't even need that option, considering it should last a full day anyway. On the software side of things, the OnePlus One runs CyanogenMod 11S, and in my opinion, it's still a terrific OS. CyanogenMod lets users customize pretty much everything from the lock screen to the boot screen. You have added features like gestures and options to enable software keys or hardware keys, and you get the beautiful stock Android look. Features that sets it apart from Samsung, HTC, or LG. Software updates have been pushed out several times since our review, and there have been major improvements throughout the OS, like stability and performance improvements. Whereas with other devices, we may be waiting on updates from manufacturers and carriers, and that doesn't really happen with OnePlus. Once OnePlus approves of the software update, it gets pushed out to all the OnePlus One users, similar to what Google does with its Nexus devices. Like a Moto X, Nexus, or even an iPhone, the hardware and software works together seamlessly. 6 months later, the OS doesn't feel slow or tired. So before I wrap up this video, as I mentioned in our review, there's still that silly invite system that OnePlus wants you to go through, and several months later, it's still here. At one point, OnePlus did offer pre-orders for the One, but it was just limited and was only available for a certain amount of time. Servers crashed, people were upset, and some people weren't able to pre-order their device. Will it get better from here on out? Well, we hope so, but it doesn't appear the device will be easier to get. Maybe we'll just have to wait for the next iteration of this device. So 6 months later, the OnePlus One, while not showing off the best specs anymore, still stands up against the pricier flagship devices. If you're looking to jump into Cyanogen, the device is probably your best bet. Factor in the price, which starts at just $299 for the 16GB model, and the OnePlus One is still a solid device 6 months later. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Make sure to check us out at technobuffalo.com for the latest and greatest tech news. And as always, I'm Mark Sanger from Techno Buffalo. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you guys would like to see more tech-related videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And we're also on Twitch, so make sure to check us out at twitch.tv/technobuffalo.